my goodness. Yeah, that chills. A lot of chills. I tried to get out there a little early to take it in, just everything that I could. But it was, it was incredible. I came off the mound after the first, and I couldn't feel my feet. It was just greatest experience of my life, and it was the greatest atmosphere in baseball. So I was very just proud of it, and but it was. I'll look back on this day for a long time, like just thinking about this moment. So, yeah.
Payton Tolle could not feel his feet, but we could feel that mustache. That was
I love that guy, man.
That's a strong stash right there.
Keep that personality, keep that look.
Yeah, he does have a personality.
And I love that about him.
I do too.
I think that's so important for baseball, not just the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Like everything he does on the mound, everything he does off of it, I think is so important.
I agree.
He has that personality. And he comes in and he's just going like, hey, man, what I just did was like once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yes.
Friday night at Fenway.
Yes.
I'm the ace. I have expectations. I showed up. It was an electric atmosphere.
Yeah.
My friends are at the game said they haven't felt Fenway Park be like that since 2021.
Bro.
Playoff run. They're talking ALCS appearance.
I have the attendance for Friday night at Fenway, 36,583.
Come on.
That is a sellout.
Come on.
By the way, he is box office, not in just personality and his game, obviously, because how do you get people drawn into you? Mm-hmm. For example, our esteemed producer, Ethan, we love him, but he is a meathead. He loves football. This guy, he chews rocks and does dips. Like he's, you know what I mean? He was watching the game. He never watches baseball. Yeah. Baseball's boring to him. He was watching the game just for Tolle. That's box office, George. Drawing people in. Can you get my grandma to a TV? Okay, that's box office.
And imagine the amount of people going to Fenway Park as is to see Paul Skeens pitch.
Right.
Because that's what he is. He's blockbuster.
Right.
And then the news comes out, it's Payton Tolle's making his debut. And what we saw, too, it wasn't Brian Bayo against Paul Skeens, a soft contact pitcher against a guy that throws gas.
Yeah.
No, it was 98 miles per hour fastball for a strikeout against 100 miles per hour on Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
If you're not going to see a lot of runs, you want to see that type of pitching. Quick, fast, ferocious, on top of batters and shutting dudes down.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw with his debut. That's what was so big. And that for a guy that he was drafted by the Red Sox last season, this past year worked his way up from high single A to triple A. He had under 20 appearances in professional baseball and is already at Major League Baseball, not even 23. You go back a year ago when he's in college, the velo on his fastball is like 92, maybe 94.
Yeah.
He hit 99, actually clocked 99 on Baseball Savant Friday night.
That's nuts.
The progression he's made, how much he's developed, and he had secondary pitches as well. That's not a top-end starter. That is the makings and the foundation of an ace. And he showed up in the moment.
Okay, so then we just need to temper. You got to kind of slow down, right? You don't want to throw this kid to the wolves.
No.
He can't be your fourth starter during a playoff run. Can he? Are we headed for that? I guess, let me re-ask the question.
Yeah.
My fear is that he looked so good in that debut. There's some numbers, by the way. I do want to kind of say this. So Tolle became the first pitcher since Daisuke to strike out 8 or more batters in their major league debut. Like, that's not a small feat here, George.
Yeah.
This guy is 6'6", 250 pounds with a left hand from the depths of hell.
Yep.
So I can understand, like, okay, we're good. Plug him in. He's a fourth starter. But then my biggest fear is that you almost ask too much of him too early, and you wear him down, and he gets hurt, or he doesn't develop properly if you had just slowed your roll a bit. Does that make sense? I almost don't want to fall in love with this kid as much as I'm falling in love with this kid.
No, fall in love with him, but then remember that he's a prospect.
Yes.
And that was his first Major League Baseball appearance.
But he looks so damn good.
He's not going back down. He's staying up with the Red Sox. You have to.
You got to.
And I think when it comes to October, he will be a long-term out-getter.
What does that mean?
Bullpen arm that can get you 2 innings, right? You got to work him along.
That's where they're weak right now, too.
Or I would rather take him as that fourth starter. Hey, go out, throw 4 or 5 innings.
God,
that's it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I trust him more. Well, I mean, what was he after 5 innings?
I already trust him more than Dustin May already.
And then at that point, when you have everyone on the same page, including a Greg Weissert, where he's going to go 5, be ready to go in the 6th, get us that inning. Weissert, Matz, and then you get to Whitlock Chapman in game 4, that's what it could be if they're not pitching the day before their arms are rested, right? That's what he's going to be. But it's fair to temper expectations. And you know what? Luckily, you can, because you have Garrett Crochet, Brian Bayo, and Lucas Giolito.
Yeah.
What Payton Tolle meant to this team and meant to this city that Friday night is huge. Long term and the short term. And I think for baseball, because who like when it comes to the face of baseball, it's Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
But when it comes to also who's that voice of baseball, that player that people outside of loving the sport know about, right? Who is the Giannis Antetokounmpo or Nikola Jokic or SGA? Who's the Patrick Mahomes or the Joe Burrow or the Josh Allen in baseball?
Right.
We had Mike Trout all those years. No one knows what he sounds like. Paul Skeens, he's drier than dirt when it comes to his personality.
He really is.
And Payton Tolle, and eventually he'll have that barrier. Like, he'll get older, he'll mature, and he'll be like, you know what, I don't have to be myself and candid all the time in the media, but can have that personality. And that grows the sports beyond the fans of baseball. That's why he's important for the sport. Paul Skeens, best pitcher in baseball. What he does on the mound is phenomenal. But what Payton Tolle can be is an ace in a massive market like Boston, and also be that personality that people around the country love.
Bro, Bayo this afternoon against the Guards. Crochet Day tomorrow for all who celebrate. They have not announced a starter for Wednesday's game. I mean, Alex Cora's being coy on this stuff. Here's Alex Cora, who talked about Tolle after his debut. On the other side, we'll try to figure out what they're going to do with this kid. Take a listen.
Electric. He competes. That's the first thing. He enjoys the game. And then on the mound, that was impressive. The command was good, and he did an outstanding job for us.
You knew about the fastball. What do you think of? How would you describe what you saw in the arsenal?
Really good. Got some feedback from Connor. First time out there, and it's different. And we just got to help him now. Keep getting better, of course, and this is different, right? The effort from the get-go is real at his level. So just to manage him and help him out, and he'll keep getting better.
He seems, kind of an excitable type on the mound, shows his emotion. Do you just kind of go with that, and that's who he is, and don't worry that he's kind of getting himself out of,
No, it seems like he, the whole day he was in a good mood. He talks to everybody. I got some feedback from chat today, and that's who he is, and that version is pretty good. He's I think people are gonna like him in this town. I think very polite kid for everything I hear, so he's gonna be good with you guys, accountable. So it was a great night for us. It sucked that we didn't win, but the overall picture, that was a step forward for the organization.
George, I think I'm at the point where I don't want to be a defeatist here, but with this young team, Tolle and all of them, Roman Anthony, you name it, I just want some playoff experience. Maybe, but can you win a series?
I want to win.
Postseason?
I want a series win.
And then I'm looking at this and I'm like, the championship window, George, is wide open for the next 5 years, at least here in Boston with this team. And so now I almost think I'm changing my mentality with this year. This is house money. I thought this team would be a playoff team. Here we are. Cool. But I do see holes all over. I agree with you on a lot of things you say, particularly as it pertains to the starting pitching staff, 4 and 5. You know what? Let's get the playoff experience. Let's see what happens. Maybe this team catches lightning in a bottle in a wide open American League. But really, I'm thinking about next year and beyond. Spend some more money in the offseason, just like you did this past offseason, bringing in Bregman, right? Do that again and go for it next year and win as many World Series as possible with this young nucleus. I am so afraid of running this Tolle guy into the wall.
And they
really
won't, but they won't. The first sign of anything with an elbow, a shoulder, or
Get him
wrist,
out.
and they will. It could be a left foot, toe, just sore.
They've been careful with Roman Anthony, too. Remember he had the back spasm? They were like, get the hell out of here.
You're right with the window, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It's still that this is a team, when you think of their starting pitching, their closers, and Whitlock and Chapman, and the top of their lineup, they should win a playoff series.
I would
With
agree.
how open the AL is.
I would agree.
But you're right, though. As critical as I'll be still of, I want more, You're right about the window. Because just think about it where it's Roman Anthony, Cedon Rafaela. If Marcelo Meyer can be back healthy. Let's see if Tristan Casas returns. But they can go out and trade for a Joe Ryan this offseason, and the price will be cheaper. They can go out and sign a Zach Gallen this offseason.
Right.
Lucas Giolito stays, Crochet and Bayo are here. With Tolle, that's your 5 starters. Exactly. They need to add to the pen. They need to get more bats. But this is a team that is ahead of schedule, and the window is open. That's the one good thing you can say about them.
Hey, brother, if the playoffs started today, which they don't, you know who they play?
Yankees.
They could win that series.
If that's at Fenway, because that is the difference in this.
That's a difference.
Well, I trust them in the Bronx.
I think they could win in the Bronx, but to your point,
Fenway gives them a boost.
Man.
Fenway gives them
I wouldn't be shocked if they won that in the Bronx. If that series is in Fenway, I'm betting on it.
Yeah. I would take the
I'm betting on that.
Sox. I would take the Red Sox in that in a wild card series, especially because they have the starting pitching to take a wild card series.
Yeah.
That's what's big.
Yeah, because the Yankees,
comes out. That'll
you're
be
right.
I trust Crochet, Bayo.
Me too.
More than the Yankee staff. Now, the Yankees lineup, when you have Jazz Chisholm, Trent Grisham, not Aaron Judge, having 25-plus home runs on top of what Judge does, and Giancarlo Stanton waking up, you have to hit.
George, I'm about to get my first playoff experience at Fenway. Woo! Anything is possible!
And hey, a half game back of the Yankees. That's what's big, too. You want that series at Fenway. You want that wild card series at Fenway.
Doesn't it feel good here on Boston Has Entered the Chat? Huh? Don't you want to stick around here on Boston Has Entered the Chat? We'll do it, because we're just getting started. We have so much more to talk about. Roll with us.